welcome to the Living Hope Thought for the Day. Today I want to take us into the book of Daniel. Now, the story of Daniel is a remarkable story. He's a young man who's in exile, but along with a few other young men, he's been designated a role within a foreign country where his intelligence and his natural gifting is going to be used by the king. The king recognizes that there are people among the conquered ones who can serve his kingdom and his people, and therefore he picks some out. Now, as well as Daniel, there are three friends that are specifically mentioned: Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Now, in terms of the book of Daniel, well, there's a lot of incredible insights. You have images and pictures that make this book very parallel to the book of Revelation. A sense of end times, a sense of God working among the nations, a sense of God sovereignly preparing the time when he will send Christ, not just to come to go to the cross and bring our salvation, but to come at the very end of time and wrap everything up. There's lots of things going on in the book of Daniel. There's an awareness of an eternal God working out his purposes, and that kingdoms come and go. And even the great kings, even the Nebuchadnezzars, they will not live forever, and their kingdoms won't last forever. But only God and his kingdom, and the kingdom of his dear Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, they alone will reign forever. But there's a phrase in Daniel 3 which I really would like to draw your attention to. In verse 17, this is what we read. It's the three young men. It's not Daniel, actually. It's the three young men. And we read, "If we're thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your Majesty's hand. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your Majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up." This is an incredibly confident and powerful comment that these young men are making. Nebuchadnezzar set up this great big statue, and he's a strange man, really, because at times he seems to be almost godly. And then there's other times when he's so proud and arrogant and seems far, far from God. And in one of his, if you like, wilder moments, he's built this great image and he wants everyone to bow down and worship it. And he gives a signal. He gets his main sort of orchestra, as it were, to play at a given moment of time, and when that music strikes up, everybody's meant to fall down. Now, when he does this, he's told that the three young men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they have not bowed down. Now, his instinct is that he likes these young men, he values them, and so he wants to give them a second chance. And so he says, "Now, all right, we're going to do it again, and this time you must bow down." And this is where the statement comes that we read a minute or two ago. They simply say this, and you can be sure they're saying it with humility, there's no arrogance, but they're simply saying, "We will not bow down. If you throw us into the furnace, our God can deliver us." They're confident God can deliver them. But they say, even if he doesn't, even if it's our moment to leave this life, we're not going to bow down to your image. Well, that is real faith. That's real courage. They know God can deliver them, but they're not presuming that he will. Well, the story unfolds. They are delivered. They're thrown in the furnace, and they're incredibly delivered. And we thank God for those stories. But we thank God too that whether they were delivered or not, these young men were resolute, that they were dedicated to the living God. May we be the same. God bless you.